Hello, my name is Sandra, and welcome to my channel From Black to Legacy. On this channel, we're all things money, investing, mindset, a little travel and lifestyle. Certainly, we are all about Black women living a life of ease and peace. If this is your first time here, then welcome, welcome, welcome. You know you're always welcome. As you come in, please like the channel, please subscribe, and share the video. Help us grow. Help us match this content with other women that you think might find this useful or helpful. If you've been here before and I see y'all in the chat, you already know what the drill is, peeps. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Just come on. It costs you nothing. It's absolutely free. Hit the button on the way in. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Cheryl. I saw, hey, Mira Love, our moderator extraordinaire. And we have a guest moderator tonight. That's my son. He's in the chat with the strap, just in case we have any trolls that want to get out of hand. We got two moderators tonight because I understand that it's a tense time in America and people have very strong feelings, period, around the topic when you start talking about the situation with the election results and what the response of Black women could be and should be. And frankly, Black women have the right to pick and choose. And I know that that makes some folks upset. But we're going to ask that anybody that is in the chat, please be respectful. All viewpoints are welcome. But we're not here to debate tonight. We're here to offer solutions. And so if you come in the spirit of offering love, help, and solutions, then of course, by all means, stay. But while you're here, you might as well go on over to my guest co-host channel, Cha Jones, and like and subscribe to my sister's channel. Let me put it up for you. Let me put it up. There's Cha's channel. So go over there. And without further ado, I'm going to let Cha introduce herself. Cha, go and do what you got to do.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cha Jones. I'm a lifestyle consultant and I specialize in expat and relocation. I've been doing this for about 15 years. I'm not new to this. I grew to this. And I love helping people. I want to see everyone succeed and live their best life. I also work in the arena of helping you develop and create a softer life. And it sounds like everybody in America right now needs to take a moment, breathe, reevaluate. But I'm here for all the assistance anyone needs. I love cultivating relationships with women, and I'm an expat in Malaysia. So anybody who's interested in moving to Malaysia needs assistance with coming to Malaysia, I'm here for you.
Thank you, Cha. And I want to remind you guys that all this information, all of Cha's contact information is in the description of the video. And I've taken the liberty to place some additional resources in the description box. Because while Cha is based in Malaysia, and y'all know that's where I'm going next month. As a matter of fact, at the end of the month, I got just a few more weeks. And when I tell y'all I'm so excited, I cannot wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Thailand has been very, very good to me. I know, but when I went to Malaysia, I hung out with Cha and I hung out with Langston. We hung out for a day or two. I can't remember. We had two outings. When I tell you delightful, y'all, I'm ready. I'm ready for some rooftops, some cocktails, some city views. I'm ready for all of that. I've rested very well here in Thailand for an entire year. And I feel rejuvenated and relaxed. And now I'm ready to turn up just a teeny bit, just a teeny bit. And so I'm going to see my sister. And Cha is very busy establishing a Black community and bringing folks together. When she said that, that's what Cha is. Cha is really about bringing people together, making life better and more beautiful for Black women. And so you all please get over to her Facebook page too. She's got two. So I'll post those up for you as well. But again, this information is in the chat. And We have sisters that are posted up all over the globe. So tonight we're going to primarily be talking about Southeast Asia, but there are women who are all over the globe. In Mexico, you've got Michelle at Casa M. You've got Black Global. I know. So if you're looking at Mexico or Panama, Mary Golf is in Panama. There are Black women in Ecuador. I have taken the liberty to put those resources in the chat. Not in the chat, but they're in the description box. And I would be remiss if I did not mention that Heather Proctor has pulled together an entire book of resources. Heather was on it, baby. So if there's any lack in Facebook group, WhatsApp group, whatever it is you're looking for, that resource is in the description box. So let's see who else is here and let me say hi. Scared Streams, hey. Oh, is that Sacred? Y'all know I'm blind as a bat. Hey, Sacred Streams. Hey, Dee. Hey, Lily. Hey, Helen. New Life Creator, Tanya. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Matthew Whittington. Shauna, I think we spoke earlier. Hey, Brenda, Katrina. All my sisters are here. Hey, Venus. Hey, Brenda. Hey, y'all. If I missed anybody, you all know the drill. I'll catch you on the next go round. So let's get into it. And let me say this stream will be a little different in that Chai and I really, our intent is to take your questions. So if you are interested in moving abroad, if you're interested in just maybe you are just thinking about it, maybe you are all the way into the plan, you got a ticket already, whatever, wherever you are on that spectrum, this forum is intended for you to be able to ask questions openly. Cha is such a wonderful resource. Y'all getting Cha for free. Y'all know Cha charge for this, right? So you getting Cha for free tonight. So ask your questions, and I'm going to ask you if you have some questions, put 3 Qs in front of your question, so that way we'll know it's a question. And you all know I'm here for you. You know what I talk about. Get your money right, because the last thing we want is for you to come out and money is the thing that sends you back home. So, two things are happening here tonight. Cha is going to chime in with all things relocation, and I am going to be here to help you get your money right. Get your financial house in order before you hit the travel streets. Whether you're trying to expat, whether you want to do a slow bop, whatever it is, you're going to need money. Money doesn't make us happy, but honey, money can solve a whole lot of problems. Money can alleviate a whole lot of stress. And so, if you need that kind of support, I am here for you. The links are in the description box, and we'll be popping them up on the screen too. So, Cha, the first thing I want to do is, can you tell us about the service that you offer in detail? Tell folks when they reach out to you, what will they be getting?
So, when I work with self-initiated expats, which is a little bit different than the corporate traditional expat, because you foot in the bill, right? So what I tend to do is offer for Malaysia specifically. I do a relocation tour where we connect you with lawyers, we connect you with real estate agents, international schools if you have children, neighborhood tour, and you also get to see houses, and then you get to talk about the money aspect of like if you are renting or if you're trying to buy, all of that is in the relocation tour. So I have one coming up in January, at the end of January, around Lunar New Year. So you get to enjoy Lunar New Year, but you also get to see the city, explore to see if it's actually something that you want to do. I also offer relocation packages where if you either have come to Malaysia in the past, or you are just one of them people, I'm jumping all in, sight unseen, and you want me to be the liaison between you and the realtor, I will go out and see the places for you, video the places for you, and get you relocated, by being able to provide those services like the real estate services, but also logistics, getting your packaging here if you want to ship things. I don't advise that. But all things relocation. If you're needing somebody to be a liaison between an international school, getting all that information compiled, basically A to Z, whatever you need to relocate to Malaysia. But I also can help you if you aren't going to Malaysia, but you're trying to figure out. So oftentimes there are people who have never lived abroad, never even traveled abroad, and they need somebody to hold their hand or to be an accountability partner, ask them the questions that they haven't even thought about, dig deeper to see what is the actual place for you. Maybe they just want to leave America. So now everybody's on emotions and they're like, I'm going to leave America. But where are you going? Have you thought about if that's a good fit for you? Have you gone to visit? You know, what is it that you need to do to prepare your packing slip? Basically, all the things that you're going to take with you. Because sometimes people just aren't realistic. They just like, okay, I'm moving abroad. It's not like you going from Chicago to Texas, right? It's not the same. So there are a lot of things that people don't really think about. Visas. Like some of these countries, you have to pay for a visa. Some countries you have, because you're American, you can come for 90 days. Some of them not so much, maybe 30 days, 60 days. What are the things that you haven't thought about because you're new to this? And I do all of that and a little more. So
And Cha does it with a smile. Let me tell you something. This is what I learned because I'm a helper too, Cha. I love helping people. And so I said, well, I'll dip my toe in the space of helping folks relocate because I have friends that want, people reach out. Sister, let me tell you something. That is not my ministry. That's not my ministry. You need people who enjoy that. I enjoy helping people, but the hand holding that I think you deserve, you know what I'm saying? It would have made my transition so much easier had I had somebody like Cha to work with. I could have avoided so many mistakes. You all know my life story is out here on the internet. I moved to Mexico like that was gonna be my whole forever life. I set up shop, I bought furniture and stuff. Girl, only to discover, wait a minute, I'm not so crazy about this city. I don't think this is the place for me. And I had to sell all that stuff, start all over again because I didn't have anybody to work that through with me. I was new to retirement, but I'm telling you, having an experienced expat, having an experienced traveler that enjoys the work, this is their calling, this is their ministry, it can make all the difference in the world. I could have avoided and saved quite a bit of money had I worked with someone, but I probably am like most Black women. Girl, I said I was ready to go. I'm ready to go. And I bought a ticket. I'm telling you, I sold my house on the 1st. On the 7th, I was sitting on the beach. This is great. But all the other madness that ensued, I probably could have avoided it had I worked with a professional to ask me those questions that I didn't even know to ask. Like I didn't know to do an inventory of, is this city a good fit? Playa was great. Y'all know that's where I landed first. The beach was great, but I didn't want to live there for forever. And so I am telling you, number one, I learned two things, Sandra. Number one, stay in your lane. My lane is money. My ministry is not relocation. My ministry is to help. I love helping people. And if a sister needs some help, if you call me, of course, I'm going to answer your question. But what I am going to do now is steer you to professionals who this is what they do. They have all the expertise. And it's not, you can have someone who knows all the answers, but they aren't passionate about it. That is not the optimal person to get to help you. You really want somebody who this is their passion. And I promise you, this is Cha's passion. When I was in Malaysia, I was only there for a short time. Cha made me feel so welcome, so at home, enough so that I said, I'm changing cities. I'm on my way. Hold me a seat, sister. Cha, you all have coming up too. You have a Friendsgiving coming up, don't you, in Kuala Lumpur?
Yes. So I just canceled the big one that's like exclusive to everybody and just made it for everybody who's in Brothers and Sisters of KL. But if you're interested and you're in the area and you still want to come, then either if you're a member of Brothers and Sisters of KL, you'll have the notification, or you can just hit me up and I'll give you the details. But yes, I had Friendsgiving when I lived in Mexico. It was a hit. I loved it. Everybody came out. It's just a great way to, even if you haven't met the person in person before, you get an opportunity to now break bread with somebody connect with people. There are people who, who are introverts, who don't really get out much, who don't really want to be in the community, but then you need the community. And so they come out, they eat, have some music, play some cards. Listen, I love it. I love the holidays. I love to cook. I'm over here making banana pudding every day. Like, it's the thing for somebody to be doing because I brought vanilla wafers back from the US the other day.
The
Girl,
real ones, the vanilla wafers, not the fake, the real ones.
yes.
Girl, you already know. I am telling you. So I'm sure there are probably sisters that are on every rung of the ladder in terms of prepping or thinking about leaving, expatting, slow bopping, whatever it is, whatever your travel style is, whatever your lifestyle calls for at this stage, that might be thinking, well, what is it like for Black women in this part of the world? Is there a social scene? Will I be there alone? And I am here to tell you, take it from me. I have been, I can't tell you how many cities. I know I did 12 countries just last year. And in almost every last one of those countries, there is a Black in. There's a Black in Chiang Mai. There's a Black in Malaysia. There's a Black in Kuala Lumpur. You just need to connect with those people. So don't be afraid. I definitely want to dispel any kind of fear, especially if you're new to this, that will I be alone? I know sometimes it might not even be you. It might be your family who's afraid that, oh, we don't mind you going. We want to see you spread your wings, but who's going to be there to receive you? What happens if something happens to you? I want to assure you that there is community and you can find them. I'm telling you, put Black in, brothers and sisters of, and then put the city in and see what you come up with. And if that doesn't work, please get to the description box and please click on Heather Proctor's resource. She so lovingly pulled that together for us. I am telling you, it is a resource. And I want to say that about 23 pages of social connections, communities, Facebook groups, everything is there. And also you can check out Cha on her Life's a Vacay website. That's her podcast, Life's a Vacay. Cha, tell us everything you got going on, girl, because I got 35 links. Cha has a website, Facebook group. Cha, this is
Listen, I'm a multi-potentialite, which basically means that I'm a jack of all trades, and I'm not really interested in mastering. I've mastered the expat. I've been doing this for 15 years consistently. But as far as like, look, I love to cook. So I don't want nobody boxing me in. Like, if I want to cook today, we're going to cook today. If I want to decorate today, I'm going to decorate today. If I want to do a podcast today, I'm going to do a podcast. But no, I love connecting with people. I love community. I'm a community builder at heart. So if it's about community, helping people, I'm doing it. And so I do have Life's a Vacay as a podcast because my life's a vacay, and I created it this way. I designed it this way so that I could do the things that I love to do. And I don't want to be tied to nobody's 9 to 5. And I surely was not waiting to nobody's retirement. And so I want to go do the things that I want to do and create the life that I designed in my head and just bring it into reality. And so I dream big, but I live big. And so, yes, you can catch me on a podcast. You can catch me at YouTube. You can catch me. But
Baby, Cha is out here. Cha is out here in these travel streets, hun. Out here moving and shaking. You know what, Cha? I recently watched a video by a friend of mine, Dr. Lynn. I call her Dr. Linda. Her channel is Takende Travels, and she was talking about. And this is what I love about an open forum like this, where we can really talk shop. That was the title of this video. Come get your questions answered, but we want to give you real talk. It's not. Everybody has been on Instagram. Instagram, you got 10, 16 seconds to catch somebody's attention. So you're going to see all the beautiful images, the glossy, it's all beautiful because nobody's over there talking about their problems on Instagram. Who's going to watch that? But we want you to understand Dr. Linda's video focused on soft life is real. But you all, it's more than just the glossy pictures. Life still lifes out here. And so if you want to come and have a sustainable life abroad, it
Mm.
would, you need to go beyond Instagram. Instagram will get you out the, it'll sell you a whole dream. And the dream part of that is true. It is beautiful. Malaysia is absolutely gorgeous, you all. It is a beautiful melding, mixing pot of cultures. You've got Malay people, Chinese people. You've got, who else? I know it's three particular
Indians,
cultures.
Indians, Malay, Chinese. Um,
Yes.
but then you have a lot of Koreans here. You have a lot of people from Thailand. So you have it's a melting pot. Um, and although and I'm gonna just go ahead and be quite honest because people keep sending me messages like, so is there black people over there? It's relative to what you consider black people. And so I listen, there are Africans, there are Black Americans, and then there's everybody else. And I'm not trying to diminish everybody else because you got Caribbeans, you got, whatever. And we come with all of our different baggages, and we are not the same, but we are a collective. So I'm not saying Africans stay over there, Black people stay over here, Caribbeans stay over there. Let us all come together. But let's just be real. Oftentimes when we get to different countries, it's a segregation. And so as I collect and create community, I want to bring all of us who are melanated together in one place so that we can collab because we are sisters, we're brothers, and we just need to be together because at the end of the day, when they see us, they see this, right?
Yeah.
And so it's not a plethora of Black Americans in Malaysia. I
Yes.
am creating
Yes.
that. So
Yes.
it's
Yes.
yeah. So I want people to understand that we are here, that we can come together, we can build. And I want single parents, I want families, I want single women, I want brothers, I want everybody to show up and come together as a community. And listen, I love America. I loved my life in America. And this white man sent this message to me on YouTube the other day talking about if you loved America so much, why you? I said, because I have a choice. Thank you.
Yep.
It's
Thank
my
you.
choice. I love my mama, but I don't live in my mama's house. So I have my
That
choice.
thing blows me away. It blows me away every time because folks move around. And when I say folks, y'all know what I mean. Folks move around the globe freely and nobody questions, nobody asks why, nobody questions their patriotism, nobody questions their motives. But you let a Black woman do it, and I am telling you, you raise some eyebrows. We can raise the blood pressure of some folks. So you all notice tonight we've got two moderators because I have noticed that, since the election, there's some tensions. Black women have a choice, you all. We have options, and we are here just to share some of those options with you. I personally think that Malaysia is a beautiful option. What I love about Malaysia and Kuala Lumpur in particular is that when you walk down the street, you see everybody. When I was in Japan, that's a very homogenous society. To see somebody outside that is not Japanese, all of us, we make eye contact and it's like, wow, you here? But when you're in Malaysia, even in Thailand to a degree, you see way more Thai people. You do see visitors here. You see tourists, you see expats here. But for the most part, it's pretty homogenous too, depending on where you are. But when I tell you, when I walk down the streets of Kuala Lumpur, I don't know who's who. There's brown skin, there's every shade of the rainbow. You will see it in Kuala Lumpur. And for me, that is attractive. I like seeing melanated people. That's a conversation for me. I want to know where you're from. I think we are from throughout the diaspora. And you will find people in Kuala Lumpur from all over the world. I like that multinationalism. I like that multinational appeal. That I don't know. I think that's what travel is all about. It's about or moving and going to other places. It's about sharing culture. It is not about division. And so we are here to preach the anti-division. I understand that there is money to be made in divisiveness. I understand that there's money to be made when you pit people against one another. We are the antidote for all of that crazy. When I tell you that that is not going on across the globe, everybody isn't into that division and divisiveness. Some people want peace. And we are here to preach the gospel of peace and ease. And you can have that life, I promise you, abroad. And in addition to that, in addition to showing you that we are Black women who are living in Southeast Asia, we are living our best lives. We do not look stressed. While we are away, we are not disconnected from what is happening in the US. I have family there, my children are there. And so I am, of course, I still have my ear to the ground and my heart aches at the angst that Black women have to live under. And I thought about this, Cha, and I don't know if you experienced this, but when you're in the US and you're living in that churn and you're living in that with the anxiety of the response to the election or the angst or the you don't even realize it. You almost become desensitized to it. You're aware of it, but I think you become desensitized to how much it wears on your soul and your spirit. When I stepped away, when I moved out of the country, I look back and it's like I can't believe I survived in a place that could be at times so hostile to Black people and Black women in particular. And it wasn't until I stepped outside and I was able to breathe. You are here in Thailand. I am not a Black woman. I am just a woman. I am just somebody's grandma. They see this gray hair and these people treat me with kindness and respect. I'm never, I'm always aware of who I am, but I'm never made to feel like I'm a Black woman. I'm just a person. And so I want to say, if you are there, don't don't let this moment get past you. Do not don't miss that that is a price that we pay. Everybody's aware of the Black tax. Hey, Langston, y'all want to talk about love? Hey, love. Langston joins the live every time. And when I tell y'all he is delightful, hey, Langston. Hey, love. Come on, y'all. Look at that face. Who wouldn't love that face? And smart as a whip. But ladies, don't. I don't want you to become so desensitized that you don't realize the toll that that kind of stress takes on your body day in, day out. If you have to go face, in the workplace, these random texts that people have been posting through on social media that they're receiving, it is all very disturbing. Yes, Vi said surviving versus thriving. And we want to offer you an option. This is just an option. When I tell you Malaysia is beautiful, Thailand is beautiful, Japan was beautiful, Bali was beautiful, these are all things that are open to us. And so we want to start the conversation. We want to entertain your questions. If you have questions, I want you to post them in the chat. No questions too big, too small. If we can answer your question, we are more than happy to. If you have questions that are specific to coming to Malaysia, please feel free to post that in the chat. If you've got money questions like how did we do it? How did I structure it? We're an open book. We're here to serve you. And so on that note, somebody said, hey, Langston. Cha, what
Yeah.
would be one of the first things when, in terms of, could you share with us if you're coming as a tourist to Malaysia, how long can you stay? If you're just flying in and maybe you want to do a scouting trip to Kuala Lumpur or to Malaysia, how long can people stay? How long on an American passport can you stay without applying for any special visa?
Yeah, so Americans can stay up to 90 days. So if you're not American, you need to check to see the visa status because you may have to get a visa just to come and enter. But as an American, 90 days.
Okay. I gotta stop and say hi to my friend. Vi is in the chat. Vi and I met in Mexico. So when I tell you this, guys, I mean this. If you come to this chat, these are friends. I don't even call anybody a subscriber. I know everybody, almost every single solitary soul in this chat. Either we have talked before, and so I promise you, you are amongst friends. That we try to create an environment that is warm and welcoming. So if you have a question, I promise you, it's no question that is a dumb question. There is no question that is beyond, if it's beyond our scope, we'll say that. We'll be like, well, girl, I don't know exactly. Let me get back to you. But I want you to feel welcome here. I want you to feel like you can ask any question that you need answered. So you know that you can come to Malaysia and stay for 90 days. Is that renewable, Cha, after 90 days? Or do you have to leave the country? Can you extend it? I guess I want to say.
You can get an extension, but most of the time you just leave the country and re-enter. Am I giving bad advice?
Well, and I will say this, listen, we are here as a resource, but the truth is, I have listed in previous videos, I want to say 2 videos back. Go to the website, you all. It is so user friendly. Malaysia's visa website is so user friendly. Thailand's visa website is a little less user friendly, but it's still chock full of information. I would say this anyway. I don't care who you are and where you are. You always want to go to the source. For me as a teacher, I believe in triangulation. I want to see it 3 times. I want to see it one time. You could tell me something and I will receive that information from a qualified source. But just as a human being, as a teacher, I'm going to research, I'm going to verify information. And so there are websites for Malaysia visas and for Thailand's visa, and we'll get into that. We do have a question. And so it says, hi, I heard there's a new citizenship by investment for Cambodia. Is this true? Would it allow me to travel visa free through Asia? Is this a viable option? Thank you. Veronica, I will say this. I've been to Cambodia. I do not consider myself an expert. Chad, do you have some insight into this question? But I will tell you where you can go. Honest to goodness. And Cambodia's website as well will give you information. But I do know that there's a whole lot of opportunity for investment. I spent a month in Cambodia. And when I tell you they are ripe and ready for investments, you will see a lot of Chinese people there purchasing real estate. They, that is one of the primary ways that they're investing in Cambodia. But Cambodia is open for business. Another client of mine was going there to teach English. There are multiple ways for you to get in. What I would suggest, though, is for anybody, if you've never been to the region, to start with a scouting trip. I do know that you can go in on your American passport for 30 days. That's what I did. And I don't quote me on this one, but I do believe that you can also get an extension. But for sure, you go in with your American passport. You can get a visa on arrival. Cost me less than $50. I will caution you, it does take up an entire page in your passport. So that was something. But I would say go for a scouting trip. I would tell anybody that, especially if you're looking to relocate, you're talking beyond a slow bop or beyond, an extended visit. I would I wouldn't pack up and go anywhere unless I had somebody on the ground. Sight unseen. I would always suggest, it's one thing to see it in pictures, it's one thing for people to tell you about it, but you have to be on the ground. While I loved being there, it was a beautiful experience. I will say for me personally, there's a karmic energy there in Cambodia. And so I would say go check it out and see if it feels good to you. Cha, you want to add anything to that?
No, I think I personally haven't been to Cambodia, but I think if you're planning on going to Cambodia, it would be wise to do a scouting trip, especially before moving there. I also want to say this: I can't respond for some reason. It won't let me. It says join the chat. I've tried 5 different times and it's not letting me in. So, but that's why I haven't been typing to respond to different questions. But hey, Raven,
It won't let you in.
it won't.
Okay. See,
Okay.
if you post it in the private chat, I'll try to copy and paste it into the real chat. There's a workaround for everything. Everything.
Yes. But
So
somebody asked a question about one bedroom. Let me say this because I've gotten several questions about moving to Malaysia and people saying, can you direct me to a realtor? I work in conjunctions with realtors, so I do have realtors as resources. However, Malaysia is different, or at least in Kuala Lumpur, realtors tend to work areas. So, for instance, I live in Angkon. There's a realtor, or if you go to a realtor in Angkon, they're only going to pretty much do Angkon, or if it's in KLCC direct, they'll do KLCC. They might touch a couple more spaces, but oftentimes they only stay in their direct area. A lot of time, it's kind of like being in the U.S. and they only do an apartment, right? So or a unit, or they're selling this particular unit and that's all they sell, and they don't go somewhere else. Or you get the realtor that does everything, right? And so people who are asking, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but when I start asking questions, it's like a needle in a haystack. If you say, find me a one bedroom in KL, what do you want to do?
sales big.
You want
Yep.
to walk? Do you want to be by a park? Do you want, so I'm going to ask you 50,000 questions because you you would have to come and be like, oh, I'm familiar with this neighborhood. If you have children, you want to send them to an international school. You're going to be you want to be closer to that international school. You probably want to be in Mount Kiara. But Mount Kiara, you should know that it's very congested. It's more like the suburbs, so you're not going to be really connected to the city. So it's just so many different things that you have to think about when you're thinking about a one bedroom apartment in the city. Do you want to be city centered? Then we can talk. If you want to be maybe in this particular area, or I like this particular food. Again, it's segregated in the sense that Indians live in a specific Indian area, although they live everywhere. But you have a plethora of Indians that are in Bakerfield. Then you have people who are in Chinatown. So what experience do you want to have? It would be
Yes.
better to begin that conversation based off of, what do you want to do in your life? What lifestyle are you? If you want to be like Sandra and you want to be sipping drinks at the W every
You
day on
already know what I'm going for.
all the shenanigans, you need to be in KLCC, period, right? Because you're not gonna get that experience. You may get that experience maybe in a Bangsar. You could possibly get that in pretty much any neighborhood that has rooftops because everybody has these high rises. However, if you want a plethora and you want your own experience every day, you need to be a KLCC. But Bangsar can give you that same experience, just different. And maybe you don't want the congestion. You want to go outside the city just a little. Like I live, like if I showed you my view, it's KLCC. You see the Patronus Towers. When you open my window at night, it's beautiful. But I live 5 minutes from KLCC. But I'm not in the mix of everything. I'm a little on the outskirts. It takes me 5 minutes. I could actually walk in probably 20, but you have to think of those things. That's what I want to say.
Listen, Cha is telling me absolute truth because I have been apartment hunting, like pre-apartment hunting. Cha hooked me up with a realtor and I've had support, but you're right. They serve a particular area and I know kind of where I want to be. I love KLCC. That's Kuala Lumpur City Center. Yes, I want to be in the thick of things. So let me get to this question because Francis asked, where do you recommend first-time visitors to KL stay? Now, let me just tell you what I like because I do like to be in the thick of things. And when I tell you, there is nothing like those Twin Towers, the Patronus Towers, to me, that thing evokes something inside of me emotionally because it is gorgeous. If you are a fan of architecture, if you like modern buildings, if you want to see a mix, if you go to Chinatown, you see something totally different. You can see ornate temples. Kuala Lumpur fit the bill for you because they have it all. So I like to stay near Petronas Tower. So I'm just going to give you my recommendations. I like to stay at the Star, which is you could throw a stone. I know it's a stone's throw. Cha, can you share the view? Cha's view is absolutely gorgeous. Huh?
It's not working. The light, the light.
Day and night, you all. You got to get. Cha, we both blinking in and out. Let me know if you all can still see. So let me keep going. I would stay at the I'm here with y'all. I'm still in. Okay. Y'all let me know in the chat who's in, who's out. Am I in, Cha in, who's out? But I stay at the Star. I like staying at the Tropicana. That's the residence that is a sister residence to the W Hotel. There's a Grand Hyatt. So y'all get the theme. You get the theme. I want to be in KLCC, which is Kuala Lumpur City Center. Child be back. I want to be where the happening action is. And I want to have the rooftop. I want the pool. I want all of that. So if you want to stay in an area like that, let me think where else. Oh, there's another one. The Ascot. Um, where else? I tell you who can help you. Please check out Queen of DC. If you want to see actual footage of hotel stays, the rooms, the rooftop, and all of that, please go check out Queen of DC. She's in Kuala Lumpur right now, but she does the full room tour. I want to say another one that she likes. Oh gosh, I can't think of it, but those are the ones I like. So if you like to be in the thick of things, you want to be able to walk to cultural things, there's a beautiful park, there's an aquarium, then that's where I would suggest that you stay. But if you want to be a little far removed from all of the action, then definitely check out Airbnb. Cha is in Ampang, which is gorgeous. You could go to, and I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm going to butcher this whole name. It's something like Bukin hang anyway, y'all. Go to Airbnb. There's several areas, but personally, my fave is KLCC. Grocery stores, high end shopping. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe, whole vibe. I'm waiting on Cha to come back, but while she's gone, I'll try to answer these questions. What is a good amount of savings you should have once you move abroad to, let's say, Portugal? What's an adequate monthly income in Portugal renting a two-bedroom apartment? I am going to defer you to our folks in Portugal. You have Rick and Halisi of Our Black Utopia. You have Heather Proctor, who her information and her contact information is in the chat. I personally, I say this, it doesn't take $1 million to move abroad, but you certainly want to have emergency money. I don't, no, I can't speak to what an apartment might cost, but certainly if something were to happen, Cha's back with us. Hey, sister, welcome
Can't
back.
be right here trying to be smart and stuff.
Can't be bouncing and bopping around in the chat. Can't be bouncing and bopping around on the live stream. Asking about how much money you think. I listen. I have never heard anybody say I got too much money. I mean, I've never heard anybody say I got too much. But I do want to say that it doesn't take $1 million. You don't have to have $500,000 saved in order to make a move, but you do want to have money in the event that you need to take an emergency flight home. In the event that you have a medical emergency, you want to have some savings that it wouldn't be a hardship for you, and nobody would have. You don't want to have to phone home in case of an emergency. So I would say start there. Start with a nice emergency fund. If you have a source of income, like I have a pension, I have a small business, I have income that covers my expenses. Personally, for me, if I can bring in 3 times my monthly expenses, I feel good about that. Certainly double your monthly expenses. So that means you can pay everything that you need and you have a little bit left over. You don't want to be out here, your monthly expense is $1,000. You bring in $999.99. That's not a good look. I wouldn't feel comfortable advising someone to make a move with a budget that tight, especially if you don't have something saved. in terms of an emergency fund. If you got it like that, where your folks can wire you $5,000 in the morning, if something goes wrong, then hey, by all means, jump in the pool. But if it's just you and you're relying on your income or whatever your resources are, I certainly would say don't play it so tight. Make sure that you have a little bit of wiggle room because things do happen. You can get sick, you can fall down. Anything can come up. Money, So I would say that certainly look at your budget. If you want to talk one-on-one, please feel free to reach out to me. Money is what I talk. I can do that research for you. But definitely, I am not a fan of the tight budget and no savings. Shaw, what has your experience been?
I give the advice that I would give if you was gonna quit your job and start a business, that you have at least six to 7 months of income as a reserve. Um, there are some places you can go with 3 to 5. It just really depends on how you're trying to live and what you're trying to do. And you don't like you just said, you don't want to be stuck somewhere. Um, but be realistic. And then if you're moving somewhere, do you have income that's going to replenish the outgoings that you have? Like, so every time you went to the restaurant and that's taken away from that savings, but you're not replenishing that savings, that's going to end up being a problem. So consider that as well.
Yeah, I'm all for the stable source of income. If Let me tell you what I've seen work and what I've seen doesn't work. I have seen people come out with a limited amount of savings with the hope of starting a business or a fledgling business, or they've got, something that hasn't been proven. It's not a proven money maker, but you're banking on it being a money maker, but you have a limited, there's no other source of income. I do not advise that because anything can happen with starting a new business. It can take off and blow up in the morning. You might be a multimillionaire by the end of the year. That could happen. But it could also be that that business takes time to grow and develop and build up a clientele so that it becomes a source of income that you can rely on. So if you don't have a reliable source of income, whether it's a pension, a sizable amount of savings that you can't outlive, you can't outspend in 6 to 8 months. If you've got that kind of reserve sitting, that's fine. That will give you time to maybe work on a business plan. But if you're out here with 3 months to say you got 3 months of money to cover your move abroad, and you don't have a reliable source of income, you're banking on something else, that sounds pretty that sounds pretty risky to me. But if you by all means have a pension, you got in employment, remote work, you've got this thing already on lock, by all means, come out. But again, Cha says 6 months. I agree. I don't see anything wrong with that. If you've got more, that's even better. Again, money does not make you happy. But honey, money can solve some problems. I have stood, I told you all this. I was going from here to Koh Samui, dragging all of my suitcases. I paid $69 for the ticket. I paid $69. When I got there, my luggage was overweight. I didn't take that into account and I didn't pay for it ahead of time. My luggage going and coming, $300. So, if that's going to throw you off, if a $300 unexpected expense is going to cause you anxiety, the money's too tight. Money's too tight. A $300 emergency shouldn't throw you into anxiety ridden hysterics. I didn't like paying it. And trust me, I was given a whole bunch of side eye, but I paid it. It was like, okay, so now don't wait to the last minute to weigh your luggage. But those things happen. I am telling you, a missed flight, having to reschedule a flight, the expense that might come with that. If something like that is going to disturb your budget and disturb your peace, you might need to hold off just a little longer to build up that savings before you come out. Because again, we're talking about sustainable live abroad. We don't want anybody that wants to be out here and really expat to have to go back home because of money. I mean, that's a problem we can fix before you leave the house. Before you get off the couch, we can fix that. Somebody wants to know, how humid is it in Malaysia day to day?
It's
It was
humid.
hot.
but I moved here from Mexico, so to me, I feel like the weather is perfect. Like I'm first of all, I don't sit outside, so that's that. But when I am outside, I feel comfortable. I'm not sweating. Like in Mexico, I was sweating. I felt like I had sweat coming down, and I don't even sweat like that. So to me, it's not that humid. But I've been here. Like right now, it's very pleasant. It's pleasant all day long, especially it starts getting a little warmer around 12 right now. But the good thing is it doesn't even get like light until 7 in the morning. So that's your break of day is 7-ish, around 7, between 6:30 and 7. That's when the sun's coming out. And I'm pleasant. I'm I'm not tripping off the weather here because when you came from hell in Merida, that's hell hot. So anybody who's interested in going to Merida, you keep that in mind. It's
Merida
hell
is
hot.
hell. Merida is hell hot. But see, Cha has been in Malaysia for some time. I visited recently, and I will just say this: it wasn't the humidity; it was the heat for me. The humidity was, it was humid, but it wasn't unbearable. But that unrelenting heat, like the midday sun, I was out in the midday. So here's what you learn: you learn when to come outside and when to stay in the house. But to Malaysia's defense, baby, when I tell you everybody has a beautiful pool, everybody has a beautiful pool. It is easy to find a building with a pool. I'm sure that there are places that don't, but as I'm looking for a place to stay, every place that I've looked at, that's one of the prerequisites. You got to have a pool, you got to have a gym. And Lord, can I get a dishwasher? I mean, is it too much to ask for a dishwasher? So you can find that if you're interested in going and you're concerned about the weather. People have been living in that region of the world for forever. Nobody has spontaneously combusted. There are ways to work around it. But Child's been there; she's used to it. But baby, it was hot. As I'm gonna tell you, it's hot and it's near the it's near the equator.
Baby.
But it
She,
wasn't.
she
It
coming
wasn't so hot.
from Arizona. Listen, I lived in Arizona, and baby, that's hell hot too.
That is, and that's
And
dry heat.
it's dry heat, but baby, dry heat at 120 is I don't care what kind of heat it is. It's dry, humid, whatever. It's hot.
That's
And
hot.
so like I had stuff melt in my car in Phoenix when I lived there. Like you come out there back in the day with your CDs be all melted. So no, you're not experiencing that. And to me, I've lived in Phoenix. I've lived in Mexico. This to me it doesn't feel that way. It is hot and it is a little humid. I just I don't sweat when I go outside here in Malaysia. I'm
Yeah.
cool.
I'm trying
And the good thing is you don't have that many mosquitoes for me because a lot of places spray, so you don't get the mosquito action when you sitting down outside.
Yeah, I didn't have not one issue with any mosquitoes while I was there. That was not even a factor, not day or night. So that was pretty pleasant. And honestly, y'all, the air conditioning there, the malls, everywhere is air conditioned. It is absolutely, it was pleasant. That's all I can tell you. And I have been in some hot places. And for me to be choosing to go to Malaysia, you all know it's got to be bearable. Because I'm going to tell you, I could not maintain my sanity in Merida. I was like, yeah, I'm good. This is hot for no reason at all. So it's not that hot. If anybody's ever experienced Merida, Mexico heat, and I will say this, if you've been to like Mexican beach towns, that humidity can be oppressive. It's not that. The humidity is present, the heat is present, but everything felt pretty manageable. You just don't walk out at noon, y'all. You just don't walk out at 12 high noon. You at high noon, you should be sitting in somebody's restaurant having a delicious lunch at a very reasonable price. I think of Kuala Lumpur as luxury, so affordable luxury. It is the luxury part. Thailand is very affordable. I wouldn't exactly call it luxury. But for me, going to Kuala Lumpur, baby, that is affordable luxury. You can have a delicious lunch and barely break $20. I'm talking about you could have a cocktail and barely spend $20. So, and I'm not talking about just any place. I'm talking about you. They've got it all. That's what I love about Kuala Lumpur too. You can go all the way high end caviar and champagne. Yes, you can. Or you can have street food. And so it offers everything. Someone wants to know, Katrina says, is it easy to navigate on English only in Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam? And I will just jump in and say yes. I haven't had any problem. I'm taking Thai lessons, but child, my Thai is like this. It's baby Thai. And I still haven't had any problem. I don't have any problem even in Vietnam. No. Everybody somewhere, especially in service, the service sector, they speak English. Child, what's happening in Malaysia?
Pretty much, I say 85% of people speak English. You hardly ever run into somebody who does not speak English here, and if they don't speak it fluently, like I've never used a translator here, so it's easy. English is it used to be an English colony, so you're not gonna have a problem pretty much with your English.
And I know Cha didn't mention this, y'all, but did y'all know Cha has a book? Cha's an author too. I'm telling you, the girl does everything. So we have put the link to Cha's book. You can get it on Amazon. Please check and hit that link. Yes, please. Let me see. Do we have another question? Money gives you options. Yes. You need, yeah. I'm telling y'all, Katrina's telling y'all, if you need to get your money right, we have a beautiful loving, supportive financial literacy, investing, and trading community for Black women. While we are here talking about relocating and moving abroad, and Cha is here to support you on that journey, we do want you to be prepared. We want you to, if this is your lifestyle, if this is your choice, we want it to be sustainable. You don't want to come out with the intent of being an expat and living in paradise of your choice and then have to go back for any reason at all other than you decided that you wanted to move on. And in order to do that, I promise you, it does not take $1 million, but you do have to have a sound money plan in place. So join us on Wednesday nights, honey. We talk about how to make your money make money while you sitting at the pool. It can happen. This is not pie in the sky. It can actually happen. So if you aren't familiar with how to invest and make money grow, check us out. We got a link down in the chat. Okay, Cha, take it from here because I'm scrolling the chat for questions.
Well, I also put a direct link to my book, You Too Can Live Abroad. When I say it gives you resources of expat communities, it gives you resources of, just how to live abroad, checklists, all of that. And I think if you buy it directly from me, I think the book is like $7.95. $7.95. And so it will break down a lot of questions that you have as far as, I think it's like 60 some pages of content that will help you live abroad. But I wanted to also say this because you were mentioning Heather Proctor in Portugal. I'm glad she put that resource together because there are so many different places. I'm not an advocate for everybody come to Malaysia. I would love for you to come. I would love for you to build community. I'm here for all of that. However, this might not be it for you, right? So you have Blacks living in Portugal. You have Blacks living in Mexico, Colombia, and Panama, Costa Rica, Ghana, wherever, And so there are a plethora of resources for you if you want to exit the US. I'm also not an advocate for everybody should leave America because that's not the answer for everybody too. However, whatever it is that you want to do, I think this is about really having a secure plan. You need a community in the US. You may have family that are at odds with you. Y'all not on the same page as far as life and lifestyle. So you may need your community of women who can support that, or you may need just a community, period, that support the life that you want to live and creating and developing. I'm gonna go back to my book, Soft Life, right? And what that, and like Sandra was saying earlier, it's not about just living lux and having all of the things, because you can have all of the things and be miserable. And I know a lot of people with all the things and they miserable as hell, and I don't want to be around them. So at the end of the day, what is the lifestyle? And I just did a video that I posted last night on my YouTube about the why. Wherever you go, whatever you do, the first question that you need to ask is why. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this now? And what do I want to accomplish? The how ain't none of your business. You don't really have to worry about that because God, universe, whatever, whoever your higher source of acknowledgement and light and enlightenment is going to give you the how. But what you do need to know is what do you want? Why do I want it? And then you can start making concessions for what it is that you want to do. So where do you want to go? And just saying I want to go to Mexico and then going is not the answer for everybody. If you don't have anybody that's supporting you or connected to you, or if you don't have that community, that's probably not the best thing for you to do. And that's a short. You can get on Southwest and go to Mexico. That's easy peasy. Couple $100 depending on you catch a sale. That's easy. If you want to go abroad, that takes planning. If you want to go further abroad, like Malaysia, Thailand, even Colombia. But there are a lot of great communities in Colombia. So I am doing, starting this week on the 14th, I'm doing an expose on, it's called Global Groove. And I'm talking to people who are living in the areas that are populated the most by Black expats. And so we're going to have conversations about what it's like to live there, how they felt during the election, and what are some of the concerns and all the questions that you may have. So we're starting with Colombia. I love Colombia. I would live in Colombia, but I got a child, and I like living a life where I don't have to do like this. And not that, and I'm not promoting anything bad about Colombia, because I love the food, I love the culture, I love the art, I love all things Colombia, and I would be there in a minute if I didn't. I need to be able to put my purse down and walk away and know that my purse and all the belongings are going to still be there. And you can do that. Not that I'm not advocating that you do that, because a foreigner might come up and pick your purse up, but I feel that comfortable just because I'm a little absent-minded in my older age. So I think it's just asking yourself the pertinent questions. And that's another thing that you get when you hire somebody that can sit down and ask you all the things, because you may think you a beach person, but go live at the beach and it's there every day, and you like, I don't want to do this every single day. Because going to visit Playa del Carmen and living in Playa del Carmen, two different things.
Two different things.
Because this is what your life is every single day. Now, I happen to love being a beach bum, but I think sometimes we don't think about all of the things that come, and it's not even possible, because when somebody else is in the thick of that, they can see the things you can't see. And so you want to have a coach for anything in life to see your blind spots and to be an accountability partner to help you cultivate the things that you want to do. And I'll tell everybody, I'm not for everybody. I'm just not. And if I am for you, you got the best ride or die chick for you. But if I'm not for you, I got people. I know people who might be a better fit. And I'm all about sharing and caring, because I want people to get the best quality that is for them, and working with people who is more aligned with their thinking, their desires, that's it. So I say all that to say that no matter where you want to go, there is a place for you. You can cultivate that. You don't have to make decisions out of emotion and be like, I'm living somewhere tomorrow, because that's not the most reliable way to move. You want to be proactive, not reactive. You want to think about what lifestyle you want. Like I tell people all the time, wake up and think about how you want to wake up. I don't want to wake up to alarm clock. I'm not doing that. I wake up naturally. If I wake up at 7, if I wake up at 9, I really don't care. that's the lifestyle that I want to live. When I do wake up, I want to have a moment of serenity and peace to myself where I can meditate and think about what my day gonna look like. Write down in my journal, keep it moving. Now I got a child. Sometimes that don't really work out, but in my imaginary life, that's working out for me, right? So, what is it that you want to do, and how do you want to move? And at the end of the day, create that life. Put that on paper. Vision board it.
Come on.
Color it. I don't care, but make it
Have a
real.
plan.
Because you can have anything in this life that you want if you know what you want and you're clear about that. And then you
Yes.
start moving in the direction of that life and lifestyle.
Yep.
So that's the advice that I would give anybody who is living in this time and like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's fine. Now we know what you don't want, but let's focus on what you do want. What's that look like? Do you wake up at the beach every day with the air, crisp and clean, and you got, drapes moving all over the place? Is that how you waking up? Are you waking up? Do you want to be at the party on the rooftop with Sandra drinking, mojitos? Is that the life you want? Do you want more serenity in the jungle? Peace. And guess what? In Malaysia, you can have that too. You can go to the jungle, 45 minutes away. You can be in the jungle. You can go to Malacca. You can go to Penang. There are many places that you can go. And again, I'm not just trying to like push Malaysia. I love Portugal. That's my next spot. It just wasn't my spot, this spot, because, but it's my next spot. And I love Portugal. I love the community in Portugal, whether you are in Porto,
Lisbon, baby. Don't the Algarves. We have options. I think my sister tried to tell y'all we got options. We got places. You said it, child. Even in Malaysia, you can be at the beach. You can be in the city. You could be in the jungle, all in one country. But it is. I think you're right, child. You nailed it, sis. You better know what you want, because I thought I was a beach girl. And can I say this too, child? Just because you envision the beach in your mind, and you might very well be a beach girl and you see it, baby, that don't mean that beach is always clean. I mean, you need somebody on the ground who could tell you, now, wait a minute, I understand you have this vision, but this ain't that beach. Playa is a beautiful beach. But there's a time of year where there's sargassum, the seaweed washes up, and there's a whole time of year that beach ain't beaching. And if you don't know that, then when you get there, you've been there 6 months and you're like, but wait a minute, this ain't the beach I had in mind. I didn't see all this seaweed, and I didn't see all of these light-skinned people on the beach. They taking about, yes. So I am a fan of get in touch with somebody on the ground and make sure that your vision aligns with the reality of what's waiting for you. Somebody wants to know, what is a good way to find house rentals in KL or Malacca?
Airbnb, VRB. Is it VRB? VRBO. I would say start there. Like Airbnb is a good option. And VRBO. There's some other house finding websites. But for house rentals for long periods of time, I would start there.
Yeah. Or if you're looking to stay and like relocate there and you're looking for a house or you're looking to rent an apartment, you gave me Property Gurus and iProperty online. If you're looking to rent, as in you're coming to stay there, then you can look online there. Again, I still think you might want to consult with a professional. It says, can you share a budget for a single person? I can give you the Thailand budget for a single person, depending on how luxury you want to live. And I live somewhere in the middle. And so my rent here for a very cute 1-bedroom apartment is roughly 325 to 350 a month. All said and done, after bills and food, I come in just under $1,000 a month. And I'm talking about, we just live in. We taxi in everywhere. It is very affordable. Of course, if there's more than one person, you're gonna add a little bit to that. But my light bill is normally it's less than $50 a month. My cell phone bill is $9. My internet is $9. Groceries, I spend about $50 a week. And to travel and grab a ride share, I've never paid more than $5 to get anywhere in Thailand, and I use that freely. So I'm just under $1,000 a month for a single person in Thailand. Cha, how much in Malaysia for a single person?
I think it's gonna be a little bit more than that. But it also depends on what part of the city that you live in and your lifestyle. So I think you can get about 1,200 a month probably in KL. You could probably get you an apartment for between 3 and 5, 3 and 7, depending on what amenities that you want and what part of the city you're gonna be in. Your water bill is gonna be $1.50 pretty much everywhere. Your electricity, depending on how much you're going to use on your air conditioning, you're going to be about anywhere from probably $65 to $85 a month. Um, your grabs are going to be a little bit more expensive than in Thailand. So depending on how far you're going, it can range anywhere from $1 or 80 cents to $6. I haven't been anywhere that's unless it's like high traffic time, it might be $6, $8, depending on how far I'm going. See, what else? Food is gonna be. So this is the thing. It's cheaper to eat out in Malaysia because you can get food. You can feed a whole family for $25 with drinks and service. But if you go to the grocery store, for me, I'm feeding me and a child, and I'm spending $100 a week, like easy. So as one person, cut that down in half, depending on, and then that depends on where you go grocery shopping. I'm a snob when it comes to food. Like I know all the grocery stores. I know what I can get at all the grocery stores. I know how much it's gonna be, and I'm not shopping where the locals are shopping because of the quality of food that I want. That sounds kind of real snobbish, but so depends on. You can still get quality food at a lower price if you're willing to go. I'm not willing to go through all the stuff at the markets and stuff, but if I need something, I will. But like fresh fruits and stuff like that, there are certain areas that you can go directly to a market versus a grocery store. So you could probably get food a lot cheaper and cut that $100 down to like 40 probably.
Yeah.
So I think that's the budget about anywhere from 11 to 1300 for a single person.
Yeah. Yeah. Malaysia's just a little bit more expensive than Thailand, but not much. I mean, a little bit more. But I also, to me personally, now I've been to both. I think you get a bit of an elevated experience. Certainly, I wouldn't compare it to Bangkok because I'm sure you can find all the luxury and all of those things in Bangkok. But I'm talking about Chiang Mai, me moving from Chiang Mai to Kuala Lumpur. The experience is just a little elevated. You're not going to find very many rooftop bars here or rooftop, apartments with rooftop pools. They do exist. You can find anything you want in Chiang Mai. You can find anything you want in Bangkok. However, going to KL, baby, you could throw a rock and you'll hit a rooftop pool. And so I think the experience, while it may cost a little bit more, I think you get an elevated experience. It's not very many
Definitely.
luxury malls here in Shanghai. So Katrina wants to know rent versus buy on the expat lifestyle. And I out the gate am going to say rent until you really understand the place where you are. And you need to understand the law. There's so much in buying property. There are some countries that won't even allow you to own property outright. And you want to know all of those things. So I'm a fan of rent first, really learn the culture, understand the law, and by all means refer to a professional. So what are your thoughts on rent versus buy?
Same thing. I would say I would know that I want to be there, or that I'm gonna have somebody that's reliable if I decide to leave, or all the selling, because it could be different and it could be difficult actually. So there are places that, like I know in Thailand, you can buy a townhouse that's connected, but you can't buy property. So you only can buy places that actually have you own the building, but not the land. Here, you can buy land and you can buy buildings. So it's a little bit different. In like Mexico, depending on where you are in Mexico, if you are on the border, like a Cancun, or you're 50 miles from the border and or water, then you can only do a 99-year lease. And in some countries you can do land holds. So it really just depends on doing the homework, if it's feasible for you, how long you gonna be there. Like, are you really trying to settle and do roots? Or are you trying to have investment property? What is it that you're trying to do? Because that's really what it comes down to. But I would definitely not off the rip go into a country saying, okay, I'm gonna buy out the gate, because there's so many things that you need to consider.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a little risky. And we want you to have the most optimized experience possible. So slow it down a little. Go check out the scene. Because I promise you, there were places that I have spent considerable time in that I thought would be good contenders for me that turned out not to be. And in my mind, when I was sitting on my sofa back in the US, I'm like, this is paradise. This fits the bill. Everything that I saw on YouTube, everything people have told me, I promise you, I feel that way about Playa, and Playa will always have a special place in my heart. I knew I wanted to go to the beach, but the truth is, I knew I wanted to. I should have. What's really true is I should have just. I knew to start at the beach. I wanted to start at the beach, but it was not my forever home. Soon enough, there were things, like I want to see a library. I want to go to the theater. I want to have, all of those other things. And Playa is what it is, and it makes no apologies, and it shouldn't have to. It is a beautiful beach town, baby. That's where you go when you want to party and turn up. And turn up I did. If those pools could talk, child, if those pools could talk,
I don't even
girl,
want to know.
oh my goodness. I want to tell my
I
children,
don't
turn away.
know.
Look away, look away. Nene was out there reliving her 20s and her 30s and reclaiming all of her time. I had a beautiful time, but again, how long can you do that? How long can you live like that? So I would like to offer up my sister Cha services. Y'all get in touch with Cha. If Kuala Lumpur, if Malaysia sounds like a place that is calling to you and you just want to plan, maybe, Cha, can you help them if they just want to do a scouting trip? Can you help?
Yes, I can
I mean,
do neighborhood tours. If you're coming here, you just want to do a neighborhood tour and figure out which is the best neighborhood. I also have, if you go to my site, Global Bound Consulting, I have a neighborhood tour where I break down all the neighborhoods and what those neighborhoods are best suitable for as an expat. If you have children, which we're going to be the best neighborhoods for the schools. If you want to turn up like Sandra, what is that neighborhood going to offer you? Things like $5, $2, something like that, whatever. And if you want to actually do the relocation tour, January 26th to February 3rd, I have that tour. And that tour, like I said, you're going to meet lawyers, you're going to meet real estate agents, you're going to go on a home tour to see the different, because they have bungalows, they have link houses, which is kind of like a townhouse, they have condos, which would be in a high rise. So they have different type of houses, and you can be in the city, you can be outside the city. There are different, and even the condos, you got condos that give you, a pool, but then you have condos that give you a pool experience. So it's a different situation for everything, and you want to know what your options are. Also, if you have children, you're interested in international schools, we'll have somebody that can talk about the international school options. We also give you a tour of the different sites, with the botanical garden, the Bantu caves. You get to see all of that in the relocation tours, and you're actually talking to and speaking to, in a seminar like setting, the different expats in the area of relocation.
Child, I cannot wait to get there. I'm telling y'all, I'm chomping at the bit. I got my stuff packed really seriously. My stuff is all packed. I'm just waiting. It's like time ticking away. I cannot wait. And you really can find everything. I think that's what I'm so enamored with that I didn't expect when I went to KL, when I went to Kuala Lumpur. Y'all, everything. And I'm an architecture buff. Seeing those big, beautiful buildings, oh my God. I was like, yep, gaga, gaga, gaga. Child, you have some things on your YouTube channel too, because I know you have a few tours on your YouTube channel too. Restaurants, neighborhoods, apartments.
So I do have apartments. I don't have. I'm putting together the neighborhood one now. I have the rooftop experience at the W. I have what it's like being black in. I was about to say Merida, but black in Malaysia. I have some of the questions that like why I considered living here. Somebody asked a question, and I want to remind people that Malaysia is a Islamic country. However, what I will say about Malaysia being an Islamic country, you don't really feel that or know that other than you see people in hijabs and you see people culturally. You'll see it on the person before you feel it in the country, if that makes sense. Like you don't come here and be like, okay, I can't do this or I can't drink. You can go to the liquor store, you can buy liquor, you can have a party and ain't nobody gonna be looking. You can wear short clothes because Koreans and Chinese, they don't listen, they. So it is not like you have to be covered. So it's a more liberal Islamic country versus if you were to go to Abu Dhabi or Qatar or whatever. So Ramadan is an experience, and all of the other holidays like Diwali just passed experiences. So I would say there's a holiday. I know that there's 2, 3 every month. So you can get an experience of different holidays. And my tour, back to my tour, is in January. It starts a couple days before because you gotta leave America and get acclimated. But on the 29th is Lunar New Year. So you got 15 days if you decided to stay over. You have 15 days of Lunar New Year experience as well.
Wow. Well, I honestly, I didn't feel any kind of way when I was there. I was going to say, and you can find pork for all you ham and bacon eaters. You can still find ham and bacon. So I didn't feel in any way deprived, oppressed. I just didn't feel that. I promise you, it was so beautiful walking down the street and seeing so many different faces and cultures. And then you mix that in with tourists and expats. It felt so cosmopolitan to me. It felt like I have really enjoyed Thailand. I have nothing bad to say, but Thailand for me has been a place of rest, rejuvenation. It's where you come to get your humdingy doodle on, and you get you some granola. You're gonna have a yogi. You can meditate. You can do all that stuff. You can look at mountains. Beautiful rest and healing. But when I was in Kuala Lumpur, I felt energized. I felt like, oh shoot. Oh, hey y'all. And people were friendly. And so I'm telling you, it's an experience. I don't want to oversell it. I'm just telling y'all that's what my experience was. I'm trying to see if we got anything else. Let's see. Vi says, wonderful. That is what they're known for. Yes. When I tell you, hey, I had a grand old time, so much so that I wanted to. I'm relocating there. You all, just before we go, I wanted to. I don't think I told you all this, but we are offering our Black Friday specials on our learning community, and I need to tell you this in all transparency. From now to the end of the year, you can take advantage of our Black Friday special. We started just a little bit early so that I could get folks scheduled before the end of the year. But starting January 1, 2025, as in most businesses, our pricing structure changes. And of course, the price goes up in January because we're going to be adding improved features to our learning community. Hopefully, we will be bringing in speakers. I'm lining folks up, and we are just continuing to expand. So I'm telling you now, I don't want anybody thinking, oh, you didn't say that. Yes, pricing changes in January. So see if you're interested, this is the time to get in. Not only is it the time to get in, you can save up to 25% off with our Black Friday special. So you better hit the link because your girl is gonna be out of here in December. In December, my calendar is like tight. I'm gonna be sitting in Kuala Lumpur with Cha Honey, and I will be posting all of the pictures. Me, Cha, and Langston, honey, we're gonna be outside. We're gonna be outside. Mother will not be sitting in front of her computer doing doing appointments. So get in where you fit in before the deals and the special goes away. Cha, anything you want to say to the folks before we wrap up here? I think we
No,
did good.
I see that Kimberlyn just entered, or maybe she entered a while ago. She and I are going to be talking again on what's that? The 14th. I don't know what it is, but the 14th we're going to be talking on Global Groove, and we'll talk about Colombia. So if anybody is interested in moving to Colombia, you'll be able to get her perspective on living in Colombia. And all things Colombia. I'm telling you, I would be in Colombia tomorrow.
We think with the same brain. Me and you, I promise. Because I was talking to Kimberly. Me and Kimberly met in Mexico. And this is what I love about this community, you all. I'm telling you, the sisters out here connected. So don't let anybody, no, don't let a naysayer say, oh, but you're going to be by yourself. Or who do you know? Or ain't you scared? Ain't that dangerous? Girl, bye. Listen, Kimberly and I talked a few months ago. Colombia was, girl, that was my next move. I was supposed to be in Colombia, not Malaysia. I was headed there. But I was like, listen, I steal some things. I went to Malaysia, my eyes was Google. I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. I'll get to Colombia. But Malaysia just kind of had this thing on me. So you all please check them out. Talking about Colombia, it is a viable, trust me, I will get there. It is a viable option for sisters. The food, Chad said it, the food, the art, the people, the weather. That is so for those of you who are like, you don't want to be nowhere near where it's hot, you don't never want to see a 100-degree day. Colombia, consider Colombia. I think they call it the land of the eternal spring. So please make sure that you tune in and watch them talk about that. And don't forget to take advantage of these Black Friday specials, y'all. Child, we got anything else for them?
I want to say this because I am the community. Like I just love being able to build community. The great thing about being an expat, yes, okay, 2 minutes. So he wants some candy for being an
He has
expat.
been. Now, he has been a model student. He has been a model student. He gets a gold star and a candy bar.
Because if you tell him 1 hour, he'd be like, it's been an hour, ma'am. But I want to say this about community. Being an expat, like I've lived in Korea, I've been to 28 different countries, I've lived in Mexico, I'm here. And the one thing I absolutely love is that once you become an expat, you get in these communities. It's nothing to be like, I know Sandra who's in Thailand, I know Kimberly who's in Colombia, I know Heather who's in Portugal. I know Michelle who is in San Miguel.
Yep.
I know these people. A lot of them I know personally, have had broke bread with them. A lot of them I've known just on the internet. But you start to develop a community that's worldwide where you can pick up the phone or drop an email and connect. And
Yep.
it's like, oh, what you need? Okay, I got it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
is the real blessing. There is no 6 degrees of separation once you become an expat. You have a plethora of people. If it don't work out, you come to Malaysia, we can hook you up where you want to go next. You know what I'm saying? We can hook you up with people who are gonna bring you into their fold and treat you like family. Like I have a strange family that I just be like, listen, you do that because I'm not doing that, but I'm gonna do this over here. And I have people that my son has like a surrogate grandmother from living in Mexico. They talk every day to this. She on the phone right now. Like it's just that you get those real connected roots that you get to plant all over the world. And the thing is, you can be born into a family, but you can choose who you want to have as an extended family. And the extensions go so much further when you are in these expat communities because I know as a little girl, all I used to think about was living this wonderful life where I traveled the world and I could cook and eat and experience all kind and have conversations. And the conversations you get to have when you sit down and just break bread with people who are from Chicago and you from Nebraska, would y'all have ever met? Or if you from LA and I'm from, Boston, and we just happen to stumble upon each other in these global streets. Listen, it's beautiful. And if you do nothing else, like I'm not saying that you gotta leave America and go live somewhere, but go experience something beyond 7 days in a place where you can say, you know what, I see life a little bit differently.
Ooh.
And you can always go home. Home doesn't move. That's the great part about it. Home doesn't move. The home is home.
Mhm.
But go out here and see the world, experience something different, put your stamp on some place in this on this globe where you can say, I have connectivity. And there are so many Black communities out here that will usher you in. You can ask questions, but you can build relationships. Talk to people. I don't care if you're an introvert. Step out of that. Talk to some people. Ask people questions, but get into the culture. And don't go nowhere sitting in a hotel. You can do that at home. That's my tip.
Shaw said it all. There's nothing left to say, y'all. Get outside. It's a beautiful world. Don't be, I understand things are tense now at home and it may feel a little daunting, but I promise you that isn't the entire world. The world's a beautiful place. Marilyn said, check your phone. Hold on, y'all. My sister telling me when Marilyn say move, y'all do know that this whole thing don't happen unless Marilyn say go. She said, check your phone. What's happening? Sister, put links in the chat. They can't get the links. Oh, put the links in the chat. They are in the chat. They're at the very top of the chat. If you go all the way and scroll back up to the top of the chat, you will see all of Cha's links that you can actually tap on. So go all the way back up to the top of the chat. You'll see Cha's links. You'll see my links. Every link that you need is in the top of the chat. So go all the way back and I'll give you all time. Somebody scroll up to the top and let me know if you see them. If you don't see them in the chat, they are all in the description box. So if you're catching this video in the future and you don't have access to the chat, but you should, you'll have access even to the live chat if you are catching this in the replay. Every last one of those links is in the description box of this video. So somebody check that for me. Scroll all the way back up to the top and I'll wait. I have put in Cha's website, the podcast, her two Facebooks, Instagram, and her YouTube channel. You all please go over and subscribe to my sister's YouTube channel. She's got good content over there. If you're interested in seeing what it looks like to have boots on the ground, if you want to see a real live apartment tour, just so that you can get kind of the flavor. When I tell y'all it's an elevated experience, baby, it's an elevated experience. That's why I'm going. I have saved tons of cash while I was here in Thailand. I did some really great, financial catch up, got accounts set up for my grandbabies. I was able to get a lot done financially while I was here because my expenses were so low. Child, now it's time for Nene to turn up on the rooftop. Child says you can find everything that you need on her LinkedIn. Go to her Instagram page. Cha is Cha Jones across all social media. You will find her Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Are you on LinkedIn, Cha?
Yeah. But on that link tree, that gives you pretty much all my links. It gives my website, it gives you my books, it gives you my podcast, it gives you the YouTube, it gives you all that.
Okay, thank you. Yvette said the links are there. The links have been posted. They are at the very top of the chat. So before we close out, because I know after we close out, the chat may disappear for a little while. Go check out those links, grab any link that you need. And I'm also going to plug my sister, Queen of DC, because I am telling you, Queen of DC, somebody asked about places to stay. Don't you love her? She's in KL now. I cannot
Yeah,
wait. When I tell
we
y'all,
had lunch the other day. We had
I can't
lunch.
wait. I cannot wait. Y'all just hold tight. I will be there. Katrina is coming. If you all know Katrina Skinner, Katrina from Exodus Summit, she's going to be there. It's going to be a hot time in Old Town tonight, baby. We're going to be on some rooftops and having some lunches and all of that. Check out Queen of DC because she actually does room tours. She has stayed at all the hotels in KLCC. So if you want to see what it looks like, she is a great resource for Vietnam and KL. I think she even did some medical videos too. She had some medical treatments while she was in Kuala Lumpur. Please check my sisters out. This community is tight. We take care of one another over here. Hey, Ali, you see, Ali is from Ali is somewhere in the world. That's all I'm gonna say. The last time I saw Ali, I think Ali was in India. I'm not even sure where Ali is now, but please check her out. Cha just place this. Yeah, all of the links are in the chat. I want to give everybody an opportunity to scroll through, get Ravens just says she doesn't see them in the chat.
They're all the way to at the top, very, very
They
top.
are all the way. They're at the very beginning of the conversation. And again, I promise y'all they are in the description box. I put them there myself. So once this video is over, please, if you didn't get what you needed here while we were live, if you are watching this from the future, we appreciate you. If this is your first time here, you are always welcome to come and hang out with us. I promise you it's a good time in the chat, y'all. We friendly people. Like, subscribe, share this video, share it with someone who you think might be interested in moving abroad and they just need a little encouragement. They need a little hand holding, a little love and support. Cha is here to do that for you. I am telling you, please hook up with my sister. Check her out on Instagram, across all social media platforms, and hit the like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. And we will see you next time. The next time you all see me, Cha and I will be sitting face to face. That will be our next video. We'll be sitting face to face. I'll be sitting next to Cha. We'll be doing a live like two newscasters side by side. All right. For now, thank you guys. We will talk to you soon. Marilyn and to my loving son, I so appreciate y'all for holding down that chat. Y'all are the absolute best. And we will see you here next time. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Now go get my baby some candy and a gold.
He already got the candy.